Facebook. It's Loans.With.Jenn. It is Saturday, the 15th of February. We're coming to you live every single 15th. And so I'm excited to be here. So we're going to get a few other things going. We've got Zoom on over here for our live Zoom. We've got Facebook, and we're going to have Instagram shortly. So I'm excited to be here. We've got a few different views. So that's just something we're going to be going. So if you're new to this or you're just joining, welcome. My name is Loans.With.Jenn. I am here to go through subject to all the fun things that we're doing in buying real estate and investing in real estate creatively. So let's get this one going too. What's up, everybody? Loans.With.Jenn here. I am so excited. We got a little bit of everything. We've got some Instagram, we've got some Facebook, and we've got to have our Zoom that's live. So is what this is, you guys, every single month, if you can hear me, this comes down to discussing subject to. That's my jam. That's what I do. If you don't know, that's really what I do. So this is really fun for me to go through how I'm building wealth. We're going to go through deals, you guys. Today is really fun. We're going to really go through a subject to deal that I'm doing. We're going to go through any questions anyone has about how it works, why, and how it doesn't work, because there's always issues, because that's just how the nature of real estate works. And we're going to go through any a financing deal that I'm doing. So I just want to be here, and I'm going to come every single 15th of the month to be able to tell everybody how awesome it is and that you should be doing this with me. So it is, it's the best time in the world to start investing in yourself is today. People ask me all the time, when do you start? Why do you start? How do you start? And you just start. So just make sure you're getting, a good start on what it is that you can do to build your wealth, and do it today. Just don't stop, because I think people, they really want to wonder what's going on and how do you do it and why do you do it. So anyways, we're just going to let everyone kind of jump on here, see how this goes. And again, I'm just going to go through what I'm doing, how I'm purchasing subject to properties. We're going to go through a deal that I'm doing, and I'm going to answer any questions you guys might have. So again, we've got Facebook over here, we've got Instagram right here, and I've got my Zoom live. What's up, guys? And so we've got a little bit of everything moving on here. If you don't know who I am, what's up? My name is Loans.With.Jenn. I am your badass boss when it comes to real estate investing. I have been in real estate investing for over 20 years, you guys. I've been buying all kinds of real estate. I buy businesses as well. I have been doing this for so long, and thinking that I was just doing this and I was just being little me and thinking, okay, I'm just going to do my own thing. Everyone else is doing this, and there's no need really for me to explain what I'm doing, how I'm doing. I'm just investing in real estate like everybody else. Well, the reality is, you guys, what I do is actually amazing, and I don't think a lot of people understand how to do it, and that you can partner with me and that you have the ability to do it too. So that is why I'm so excited. What's up, guys? Instagram here. What's up, Facebook? So anyways, we're going to just give it about 2 more minutes for everyone. So if you joined and you're here to just learn about subject to creative, how I'm buying these properties, where I'm buying these properties, and how you can buy them with me, I'm so excited you're here. So please feel free, ask me questions as we go through. We're just going to let everybody get on and just kind of go through what I'm doing. I do this, you guys, every 15th of the month. So no matter what day it lies on, at 5 p.m. on the 15th, we're going to go through subject to how I'm buying it, how we're investing in real estate, and all the ins and outs of financing real estate. And pretty much I want to be your go-to for any questions you might have. So it's about 5:04. We're going to give people 1 more minute. So let me just go over again what I do. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Loans.With.Jenn. I'm a real estate investor. I'm also a mortgage originator. I've been helping people get loans and financing for almost 15 years, you guys. And so I'm a really big nerd when it comes to how do you finance it? How do you use the money? What type of money should you use? What type of loan should you use? And so I really want to be an advocate of letting people know the right way to do it, and to let people know you can invest in real estate in all the ways. And why I'm choosing to do subject to is because I've done the traditional way, private money, hard money, for so many years, and that I truly believe in subject to. It's the first time in a long time that I'm able to help the seller get to where they want to go, help me, an investor, invest in a property, and then I take my properties and I do 90% of them is lease option. I give someone the option to buy my house. So how is the seller protected in a Subto deal? So for subject to, the seller has the note. They still own the property. So I get this question a lot, and it really depends on what do you think their risk is. I don't think their risk is anywhere. I think that they have, most of the time, let me put it this way. I subject to my properties, right? So if I own a property, I have the ability to subject to, which means I can give them to somebody that otherwise wouldn't qualify. For instance, I have a ton of people that are self-employed. 3 of 4 people that are on here right now, what's up, Devin, are self-employed borrowers. Now, if you're a self-employed borrower and you try to get traditional financing, it's a nightmare, you guys. It's a nightmare. But you make great money. You are like me. You have to hustle to get your income. It's not a W-2. It's not given. We wake up every day. I mean, every day, you guys. And so this is what people forget. Every single day I go to work. To be an entrepreneur and self-employed is not easy. You go to work every day, every single day. You help people every single day. So when I have to give a loan to a self-employed borrower and I'm asking this for them list and their tax returns show 0 income, and then I say, oh, I'm sorry, you can't buy a house, that's BS. They're going to make it way faster and make their mortgages last longer than anyone else. What's up? How are you? So I would go to them and say, hey, I have these properties in your location. How about I subject to you, and in a term, 3, 5, 10, 15 years, you have the option to refinance or buy it completely from me. And now I have a relationship with this person. We are friends. So if anything happens with the property, then they're going to call me. And this isn't in every scenario and subject to, but long-winded answer because I love to talk about this. Subject to, the seller is completely protected if the person pays the mortgage. Now, what happens if the person doesn't pay the mortgage? Just like the original person didn't pay the mortgage, it's going to go in default. So then you have to have the right paperwork, which is where I come in to make sure you have acceleration clauses. If the payment's not met, it's going to deed back into the seller's name. There's so many ways to do this to protect the seller and the buyer, but you have to work with the right people. So I hope I answered your question properly. I don't know your name because it says FZ09, but if you want to have more information on how I structure my deals with Subto, the actual documentation to protect the seller, and again, reminder what I just said, you guys, I'm the seller. I literally put myself through this. So that's why I'm so good at it. I know every piece of documentation. I know what I'm going to put in place when I'm structuring the deal. It's just like everyone that's out there that's bought a house. You go to your realtor. Your realtor sets up your listing agreement. When you get an offer, you negotiate with the buyer of your property. A subject to is the same way. I go to a seller and say, hey, I would love to buy your property. I just want to have terms instead of going to the bank and having the bank make all the money. I want to do terms with you. Will you be open to discussing terms? And then when I have terms, you know what that means? Then we get to talk about subject to. Why in the world, if you owe a mortgage of $400,000 and you want to sell your house for $440,000, why would I have to go to the bank and get a 6 or 7% rate? And then you're still going to get $40,000. Why don't I just take over the terms of that loan that has a 3% or 4% or even a 5%, because that is less than what's today. And then I still pay you the difference between what your mortgage is and what you want. You as a seller get the same result. You're still netting the same. In fact, more, 99% of the time, you're netting more because you don't have realtor fees, which I love realtors. I don't cut them out. So no one pickaxe me, because I know there's a lot of people that do that. We would pay everybody, but it's going to be substantially less. It is what it is. And so keep that in mind. So great question. What's up, everybody? So now that we've got everybody here, I will, again, just let everyone know, whether you're in the Facebook world, what's up, guys, Instagram world, or my Zoom, I want everyone to know that me, myself, and I, and my team are here to be every single month on 15th, go through subject to, go through deals, answer questions. Most importantly, I want to go through the financing piece. New to real estate, that's fine. I totally do it. I was just asking your name. Everyone's new to real estate, you guys. So keep in mind, if you think that if you hear somebody and they're an expert in real estate, they just haven't been in it long enough, because there's no such thing as an expert, because real estate changes every single day. I promise you. I've been doing this for so long, and I literally just had a deal, and let's just tell a story right now, because this is my life. I just had a deal in traditional lending world that was perfect. 3 weeks straight. Good. Then we had an automatic underwriting system, AUS we call it. Literally, we go to clear the loan for docs, and this automatic underwriter says, nope, just kidding. You're no longer approved. In my 15 years, I've never been in a position where I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand. What is wrong? What happened? What shifted? And so my team and I, for 48 hours straight, worked on this and worked on this. What's up, Oscar? And you know what happened? We fixed it. But in all my time of being a real estate expert, investor expert, financing expert, badass all the way around, I was stumped for 48 hours. And you know what the best part about it? I didn't even figure it out. I literally was like, I don't know what to do. My team did. My team thought, oh my gosh, what if we just switch this one thing and it worked? Like literally the smallest little check mark. And so no one's an expert. I promise you. We are really badass at what we do because we do it a lot. I do these things, thousands of loans. I buy hundreds of properties. That's the only reason I'm badass at it, because I do it. So okay. So now that we've done that, any other questions, please do not feel that you can't ask me questions. I'm going to go through each and every one. We've got Isaac on here. We're probably going to go through one of his deals because he's dying for me to underwrite his house deal as private money. So do you want to do that right now? Do you want to do your deal first?
Yeah, I'm good with that for sure. Yeah, if you got time.
Yeah, I got time. So, and then we'll pop over to our subject too. So let me pull you up real quick. So tell us in the background, so I can repeat it because I don't think everyone can hear you, but tell me about your deal. So I'll give you a synopsis of everybody, but Isaac has a house. He has a business. He wants to pull money out of his house, and he wants to do it creatively. So tell me exactly, and tell everyone that's listening exactly what's going on. What are you looking for here?
Yeah, exactly right. So essentially, we've been trying to go the traditional route with a HELOC or a cash-out refi. We've been getting denied for all the reasons that you're mentioning, right? Being self-employed, it's very difficult with the qualifying the income. So we joined Subto. We're kind of seeing what type of options that we have, and got referred your information. So reach out to you. We're trying to see what we can do because I know that you're the expert with all this kind of stuff. Basically just trying to get as much out of the equity as we can, right? And doing it to where we can stay in the property and then maximizing the amount of funds that we can get access to as well. So essentially, trying to make it a win-win for both parties, for myself and for you guys as the lender to be able to kind of help with our need of getting access to the money, but also to staying in the property, right? We want to make sure that we stay in this house and have either an option to be able to purchase the house or say, hey, you know what, never mind, Jen, take it over, go find your own buyer, or do it that way too as well. But really, we're open to all ideas, and obviously you're the expert, so
okay.
I did send you over the appraisal. I don't know if you wanted to go off those numbers or what you're kind of thinking, but
yeah. So I had appraisal, which is very rare, you guys. So he is amazing. He got an appraisal, but let's just go back a bit and let's talk about what we're talking about right now. So we're gonna do. I forgot this was up here, you guys. If you guys are you want to go to Squad Up, you want to meet with me, we're doing a mastermind, and you want to be around everyone that's badass, go to Squad Up. It is the 28th to 31st. I'm doing a massive mastermind there in person, you guys. So this is really essential. Be around the people that do what you want to do. And I've always done that my entire life. If I see somebody, and we have social media, guys, how often do we get to be around people that are billionaires doing what we want to do? If you see somebody you want to do, be in the room with them. I'm flying to Phoenix just to be in a room with Abraham Gray and Pace Morby and all these people because that's what I want to do. So Squad Up Summit, hit me up. I've got a link. I think there's even a discount on there with my link. I have no idea, but I'll help you. All right, so back to it. Subto. So we have a deal. Isaac, how much is your house? How much is your house worth per your appraisal?
It appraised for $650,000.
All right, so we've got $650K appraised. If you guys are new to real estate, appraisal means a specialist has gone out to the property and says, based on the properties in the area for what they've sold for in the last 30 to 60 days, we think that the value of this house is $650,000. Okay, so that's what an appraisal is. And it's really awesome to get an appraisal. It's very rare in this situation. We're usually I'll do all the calculations, but this is pretty good to have an appraisal there. And so what is your mortgage? How much do you owe?
$542,000.
All right, so $542,000 is what he owes on this, his mortgage. So the way the subject to works is, I would say, okay, cool. I want to take over your mortgage, and I want to do that, and then I'm going to give you the cash in between, right? So then we're going to say, all right, I'm going to get a calculator up here. Our value is $650K. We're going to minus our mortgage at 542. 542. So you got $108,000 in equity.
Yep.
All right. So if we have $108,000 in equity, then is what I have to do as investor say, okay, well, if I went to go sell this property for $650, which I can, it's got an appraisal, and we've got here, then basically we have multiple options now with our seller, and we can go, hey seller, I want to make terms with you. So obviously Isaac wants all the cash. I know this, we've had conversations, so we're talking about that. But beforehand, you guys, we could say, okay, hey seller, I want to give you $50,000 today at closing, and then I want to make terms on the rest. You'll hear this a lot. There'll be multiple different ways. But in this situation, now we want to say, okay, there's $108,000 equity. So now as a buyer, I would give $108,000 of equity to Isaac to purchase his property, and then I get to keep the mortgage, right? So now I'm responsible and on the hook. What's your rate? Your interest rate?
It's a 4.5, and it's on a 5-year arm that expires December 30th of 2027.
4.5% rate. ARM is an adjustable rate mortgage, ARM. So this is going to adjust. So this rate will not stay. So you said 2027? When is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if I know that that's when it adjusts, this interest rate's fantastic, right? So I love this. But then the terms I have to make now with my seller are, okay, well, you have to refinance with me to put this out of your name. So, I mean, I have to refinance it. I have to get out of this loan by 12/27. Okay, so now as an investor, I have to say, okay, I have to have a magic 8 ball. What is going to happen? Am I going to be able to get this property sold by 12/27 and still get the $650 it's worth? Okay, because now I've taken all the equity out. We have zero equity now. There's not an ounce left in it. And this is why Isaac's having a problem with the bank. Because the bank says, you don't get to take all your equity. You get to take half of your equity if you're lucky, right? Is that where you're at? Exactly. Right? And the reason is because the bank, the investor, they're the investor. If anything goes wrong, if they have to sell this property, they're not most likely going to be able to sell it for this. And you have to understand that there's costs involved now. When you sell, you're going to have lawyer fees because you failed, right? And so now we're at like lawyer fees. These are the biggest thing. Now you have selling costs. And even if it were anyone, you'd still be about 5 to 6% of what the cost of the process is. So now let's do some math. So as a bank or even an investor, lawyer fees, generally, I mean, I unfortunately go to court a lot because I help people that are stuck in mortgages, or I buy properties that have to evict clients. I had to do a lot in there. But I would say $25,000 is an average of what I spend. You know, if I get lucky, it's less than $25,000, but generally it's 25 grand. All right, and then selling costs, if I were to sell this for $650,000 times 5%, we'll go on the low side. That's another $32,000 plus $32,000. So we've got 77K in fees that I have to know that I would have to make up if you failed, right? And so this is what the bank is thinking. This is what I'm thinking when I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna have to one of two things. I'm gonna have to come out of my pocket, or I'm gonna lowball you and say, hey, I can't give you 108 because it's gonna cost me $77,000 to sell your property, right? And so, but we're not banks. We're subject to. So this is where I come in investor and say, okay, you know what? I'm reviewing the equity. I do massive research on where your house is located. And this is the key ingredient, guys. If you're learning how to do this, I'll answer your question, Oscar, in a second. I always look at, will someone buy it? Now this is, everyone starts here. Everyone does these and gets all excited and like, oh my gosh, great deal. The only thing I do, guys, is the end. So I call everyone I know in that area, and I actually know a lot of people in your area. I call all of my loan officer partners. I call all my realtors and say, hey, do you have a buyer? 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 Because what I'm going to do is, I mean, you could stay in the property. This is a different deal. We won't even bring up that part. But say like you were leaving. If I could find a buyer that would buy this house from me in 2 years for $650, or it'd have to be $700, because as an investor, this is what I do. I add 50 grand on the back. That's my note. I'm going to add 50K for my investor because I don't make any money right now. Think about this. As an investor, I'm going to give him every ounce of equity, and I don't make anything. He's not paying me. I literally have to go and say, here's $108,000. But I have to make something where, right? I'm a glutton for punishment. I like long-term money, like way, way down the road. So then I would have to make another 50 grand. So I'd have to sell it. So I go and find a buyer today and say, hey, do you have a buyer that will buy this for $700,000 from me in 2 years? And this is the reality, you guys. Yes, there's tons of people. Even today, when we know, because we have an appraisal, it's not worth $700,000 at all. And it could it be, should it be, whatever. I don't do what ifs. A professional said it's not worth it. But there is somebody in this area that would love to buy this property because they can't get a loan. They're a professional, they own a business, and they would love to have this property, and they've been told no so many times. And the cool thing about this, their entry fee is going to be the $50,000 that they would technically pay at the end. They're going to give me a down payment of that, and then in 2 years they have to refinance. And guess what I do in 2 years? I help them. I help them qualify. I help them get where they want to go. And just like you, like so, if I were to give you this today, and I say, okay, here's your 108, I'm going to tag 50 on the end. When you in 2 years you have to resell this, which means you and I, now we got to work together. We either have to know we're going to sell it, or we have to get you in a position where a bank will give you money. Does that make sense? And now I'm doing everybody a service. I'm helping you, I'm helping me, and I'm helping you again in the long term if you were to stay in the property. So you guys, this is why I love creative, is because it's back and forth ping pong. And then to answer another question about how is the seller protected, we are friends. Isaac and I, we're not going anywhere. He's going to know me. I'm going to know him. It's all the payments are made for a third party, a servicing company, which is everyone. Who's your mortgage with, Isaac? Who do you go to?
SN Servicing Corp.
SN Servicing. Every mortgage company you work for has a servicing company. And that's another people like, oh, you have a servicing company? I don't know, that's pretty shady. Every single mortgage company has a servicing company. We're just showing a new way to do this. So I like this deal. I think that this is a profitable deal. And the only reason, like sitting straight when I go over my team, because I had my team run this, and I'm like, team, what would you do? Every single one, nope, Jen, it's not a good deal. Jen, it's not a good deal. But they can't see that I had already done my homework. I go find buyers. As long as I have a buyer, as long as I know somebody wants this house, and it's not me, because I don't want to live there. I want to live on an island in the sunshine. I love your house. I do not want to live I already live in the cold, look at me. But so that's why it's so important to have views, right? Is this safe for everyone? No. Is this a good deal for me? I think it's on the teeter. I think this would be a line. I have a lot of family and friends in that area, so I feel like I have a bigger network to tap in there. Now, if someone on the East Coast were looking at it and didn't know, this wouldn't be a deal. We would run all these numbers, even with this interest rate. This would be a great interest rate. But even on paper, to deliver this and know that you're 50K down to begin with is really not a good deal. So if most people bring me these deals, right? And I would say, nope. Now, in your situation, again, one of my assistants actually lives in your neighborhood. She actually loves your house. And so I have an in. My rule of everything I buy is subject to is I have to be there, or I have to be able to fly there quickly, or I have to have boots on the ground, what I call them, people. And so she happened to be in your area. She knows it. She can be my inside, like, oh my gosh, Jen, everyone loves this neighborhood. This is such a great place. This is an investment, blah, blah. She can be what I can't be there. You give me anywhere in the state of Nevada, that's me. I'll tell you if it's good, bad, or in between in 2 hot seconds, because I've been here. I know. Northern California, same thing. I can tell you good, bad, in between. Tell you where the money's at. I can tell you where all the drugs are at. Don't buy there. And so that's where I have an expertise. So if everyone's watching this, so this is a typical Subto deal. Well, you're not really typical because you are doing it for a different purpose. And most likely, you guys, this is a cool thing. You're going to stay in the house, right? You're just going to lease back. And the cool part is, how much extra am I going to charge you to lease back? Nothing. Nothing, right? And so this is a true sub too. He just to keep making the mortgage payment. I make nothing. Like there's no benefit to me whatsoever to do this. This is going to be a long-term gain. And so I have to feel like, oh, okay, I'm going to do $108,000 and I'm going to let it sit for 2 years until I can make $50,000 on it, right? And so that is another thing with real estate, you guys. Most real estate is not fast. If you plan on always making quick money, you need to be a wholesaler. You need to be in fix and flipping. Those are fast money. And technically it's not really fast, it's still 90 days, but it's faster than this. I do both. However, to me, this is a much better use of my money because what if something goes wrong? What happens? I sell the house. Now I'm on this deed. I have an acceleration clause. If he misses one payment to me, that deed goes in my name. And this is a conversation we have. I love this. This is literally what happens. I'm like, okay, we're at title. I'm like, okay, cool. Are you so excited to do this? I'm excited to be, here's the true nitty gritty of it. If you miss one payment, it's going to accelerate into my name. Your note, I now take over the property. And I'm going to kick you out. Are you going to be okay with that? You and your family and all your kids are going to be okay with that? Probably not, right? So don't do it. Please don't fail. If you do fail, you need to tell me. If you feel like you're going to fail, we need to renegotiate. So let's talk about it. But this is the side of me that's like, but no joke. I will take your house and I will have you removed from the house because now I own it. So, and that has to be a conversation, you guys. You have to have that with each other and be like, are you sure? You sure you want to do this? Because if you mess up, I'm obviously not walking away from $108,000. You have to communicate. How cool would the world be if we could just talk to each other and say, hey, Jen, I can't make my payment. I'm in this bind. And then we work together and said, okay, cool. Let's figure it out. Maybe we need to sell a sucker today. We need to cut our losses, do what we need to do. That's what we do, right? And so, again, to answer the question I get all the time, how do we protect sellers? This is who would ever do this? Why would I do it? This is why I do it. I have a new relationship, and he has a business that hopefully will grow and be massive, and hopefully I can do something to promote small business, which is what I buy all the time, and say, okay, great. Let me just help this person get farther to where they want to go. I see no thing bad with any one of these. Like, I'm going to win. You're going to win. I think everybody's going to win. How cool is that? So I think people would just think about it and say, you guys, we could all come together and help. Then everything would be better in our world. We would just actually do it. And then take the reality of sometimes, and again, like not a lot of the times, these are no's. I'm sorry, it just won't work. But what if we did this? What if we did that? What if we, hey, you have to have money now for your business. What if I give you 50 grand now? And then I could give you 50 grand in 12 months. Like, there's always a way as long as you're willing to work together. So for this deal, and a reason he's been asking me to get back to him forever, but I had to do a lot of due diligence. I had to get it to several people, and I pride myself on that. I tell people all the time, like, when I think of a deal, and it's it could be go one way or another, I give it to somebody else and say, what would you do here? Because if they say no, then I'm like, okay, cool, we gotta analyze it. And if they say yes, okay, cool, analyze it, and I'll give it to another person. What would you do here? And it's good because we get feelings attached to it. Like, I have lots of properties where I'm like, oh, I love this house. I just want this house so bad. But it's a horrible investment, so I shouldn't buy this house, all right? I was talking to another guy, Zach, yesterday. I hope Zach's watching. I'm gonna call you out right now. He loves this house, and he's doing this whole thing. It's $1 million house. And I'm like, bro, you don't need $1 million house. You own a business, like, you need a regular house and you need another commercial property for your business. Like, you're not going to make money buying $1 million property. And I'm just suggesting, like, he can continue to do whatever he wants. I love that. But in my professional opinion, I'd be like, and for me as a financer, I probably couldn't finance this because this is not going to net equity for me ever. You're trying to buy a 20-acre parcel in the middle of nowhere. How in the world am I going to sell that? I'm not going to sell that. Why would I invest my money? So for Isaac, your house is in the middle of a city. That is beautiful. I mean, not necessarily in the middle, but it's in a condensed area. So we know we have the ability to have that. So did that answer your question? Do you like going through this? Do you understand the both sides of how it works?
Yes, for sure. No, that's great. Yeah, I love that.
And you can see that in this fact is a great example. Who's winning? Just the seller. Me as a buyer, I'm taking on risk right now. But I believe in real estate this much that I'm really not worried about it. I'm like, it's in a great location. I have the ability to do it. And I love real estate. If nothing else, then I'm taking over all the costs. I can depreciate that now, which I need depreciation because I want 150 of these, you guys. 150 houses is my goal. So if I can invest $100,000 into this investment for me, there's no loss for me. And again, I'm helping somebody. So I think I've beaten that horse dead, but I hope everyone gets it. But I really do want everyone to understand that this is really what it looks like and that it does take time to go through, and it's in every scenario. Now, again, on paper, 4.5, the adjustable rate here would be 90% of the time people would say no. Because most subject twos, I'm a rare because I sell within 3 to 5 years anyway, so this fits in my bucket, my buy box. People ask all the time what my buy box is. I don't hold long term. So this fits, but anybody else would probably question it and be like, well, I want to hold it for 15 years or 20 years or whatever. So this adjustable, they would probably be like, no, I'm not going to do it. But for me, I'm going to sell it anyways. I know I'm going to sell it to a homestead buyer. Hopefully I sell it back to you. Or if not, I'm going to sell it to someone behind you. And I'm going to have a waiting list waiting for your house. It's just like someone in a neighborhood. I have a neighborhood I love. We know as soon as one house comes available in there, everyone's going to jump on it. And so I'm going to create a buyer list for that property. Hey, if it ever comes available, you'll be the first on my list, or the second, or the third. So I'm hoping I'm giving advice to investors too on how to look. Don't always start in the front. Don't always start on your ARV. What your after repair value is, or this is the value, my current value. Don't start there. Start at the other end. How do I find somebody else to buy this? Or what am I going to do with it when I exit? These are exit plans. I always start with my exit. If I can't find a good exit plan, it's not my deal. I'm not going to do it because then it's just not a good exit deal. It's not a good investment. And by looking at this the way, you guys, you take heart and feeling out of it, and you have almost a 90% success rate because you know, worst case scenario, the world ends, the economy crashes. I don't know, I've heard everything. Whatever happens, someone's always going to need a place to live, right? Somebody's always going to be there. We'll give them a place to live. So I've got a few more questions. How can we connect with you? Have a Subto lead I'd like to take down. So you guys, for Subto deals, you have to go to my website at www.badassbossjen and put it in there. My team will put it on the calendar and we'll go through them. And so I'm coaching a few of my team on how to put them in my calendar so I can go through them and coach you guys on how to do it. Most of the time, you guys will take them and you can partner with me on Subto deals because I value the sellers. If we do a Subto deal and I advise you on it, we're going to close it. And I'll coach you on how the paperwork works because I do want to protect borrowers. I want to protect sellers. And I'll give you an example. My first property that I did a subject to, one of my own, I owned it and I subject-toed it to another person. I reached out to someone in our community in Subto and somebody that I got a relationship with and I really liked her. So I'm like, hey, will you help me with this? She's like, yeah, I'm going to charge you $5,000. She's going to charge me $5,000 to do this deal. And I was like, ugh, okay, you're a pro, right? Guess what happened? She wasn't a pro. She had no idea what she was doing. The title was messed up. The partner she was working with, we were all entitled together. And again, I'm a professional. I do this every day. So I'm used to dealing with loans every day. So we open escrow together. Well, I'm a contact in escrow. And this TC literally puts in for everyone to read, this seller is such a bitch. She asks so many questions. And just rants. And so I call this person. I'm like, does he not know that I'm CC'd in this? Because this is hugely unprofessional. But so, the whole deal was horrible. I had to bring in Molly and all these people and Shelly, which saved me, and people that really understood what I was doing and understood the paperwork because all the documents were wrong. And again, I didn't know you guys. I didn't know. I knew my side, but I was really relying on these people to give me the correct documentation, record it properly, pull the right, and it was done wrong. So again, why am I so bad at this? I've gone through pain. I went through trusting someone I really thought was going to be great, and they weren't. And so I've taken on upon myself to be like, you know what? No hard feelings, whatever. But now I'm going to really help people, and I'm really going to do the documentation properly, and we're really going to make sure it records, and we're going to really make sure there's an acceleration clause. We're going to really make sure that the seller has everything in there that they know. Hey, here's the servicing company. Here's how it works. And so through that bad experience, I've created a team in myself to make sure that there won't be any more bad experiences. Hey, Sherry, I'm sorry I'm ignoring Facebook over here. What's up, John Pickle? And so just know that because that's why. And the only reason I'm so good at this is because I literally, one of my first with my own property. So think about that. I'm like, holy moly, what if this was messed up? What if I just didn't do this right? But now I have the experts of all experts to do it with me. So if you guys do want to Subto with me, please, 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 I'll do it with you. But it will close with me. We will make sure that everything's written and protected, and we'll show you how to do it from that point forward. And here's the key ingredient, guys. I know every document because I do it to myself, and I do this every day for a living. I know every lender doc, everything that's in there, because I've been doing it. So I know every piece of the deed, every note, every Nevada ability to repay, California, all the documents. But even with that, as much as I know, I still hire a TC because it is their job to go through it and then give it to me to review it because I still know it. So please get together and a TC will run your file with me to make sure that extra set of eyes just in case we miss something, because you miss something. So we're going to go into another story real quick now that we've gone over your deal of a story of subject to fix and flip. This is a huge hybrid deal. We're giving her some cash. We're subjecting her mortgage. Her daughter lived there. The mom owns it. The mom's all the way across the country. I have to help this person move from one side of the country to the other side of the country just to get this property. We have to pull all the mortgages late by like 6 months. We're helping her catch up. Like, we're doing all this work, you guys, for months. It's been like 3 months doing all this work. And then we find out that the woman I'm working with, it actually is 2 people on the property and her husband is deceased. So we have to go and get the death certificate. We have to help her do all this stuff. And we're walking through the process. At this point, we've helped her move across the country. She's now there. And we finally get to closing day. I mean, the TCs have reviewed everything. We're finally good. And we get to closing. And the seller, on closing day, you guys, on closing day, calls and says, I'm not signing this. There's no way. This has the wrong name. How dare you try to close in someone else's name? So I'm on the phone telling, like, what? What's happening? And she's like, this is not my name. I got remarried. And I'm like, I had no idea that you got married. And I'm sorry, like, again, like, I really didn't know. But she did. She had gotten remarried. And the bummer part about it is the next husband was dead too. So now we have to go to probate, which means because the husband in community property state, which this property is in, now, even though that new husband wasn't on title, they're married. So now the state of Nevada has to approve that he doesn't have any ownership. We have to prove that he's deceased. We have to do all this documentation. This is the day of closing after almost 4 months of working, paying TCs, paying all this stuff. But you know what? It's okay. The deal will still be there. Hopefully we'll still close it. Hopefully there won't be anything coming up. But these are things, you guys, there's no way. Every piece of mortgages in this maiden name, or in her previous marriage, everything. No way. And the TC, but we had all these eyes on it, and we still didn't know. So this is a remedy for everyone that wants to do this. The remedy that I should have known better than I didn't do. We should have asked for her ID on day 1. Hey, can I have your ID? Because if her ID had stated a new last name, maybe I would have known. So as a seller and a buyer, you should be always looking at all of your information, making sure that who you're dealing with is not committing fraud. This is not just in her. Like, she legitimately was in this position. But there are a lot of people out there that maybe aren't who they say they are. So having an ID, like if I did a deal with Isaac, or I do a deal with Sherry or John, and there's like, hey, can you send me your ID? I want to make sure you're the true owner, and they can match your ID with your mortgage. Cool, here's my ID, right? You should be able to do that, and that's my lesson learned on this one, is now I'll make sure of all those things so we can clear up title. But you guys, that's another Subto deal, totally worked it, did all this work, and now we're at a dead stop. And this is where you don't stop. People would be like, oh, well, whatever. And I'm like, no, we just pivot. Now we're just going to put this one on the back burner. We're going to help them. We're going to get through probate. We're going to guide them through the way. We're going to still do that. But now I got to shift over here. Where am I going to put this money? How am I going to reinvest it? How, as an investor, am I going to make more money? And so this deal was a fix and flip deal. And so now I got to go find another fix and flip deal. So I'm on the hunt for another property in this location that I can go and make money on. So that is something else I love to share with people is, you guys, nothing happens perfectly. Nothing. I've already bought 4 Subtos, and I think the first one I got in the beginning, like 4 or 5 months ago, was the smoothest. And it's because I ran it. I helped her get another loan. We took over her loan. It was just beautiful. I'm like, and I jinxed it probably because I'm like, wow, this is so lovely. She's moving on as a seller. She got to upgrade her property. She's in a better, nicer house. I get to take over her house. It was so great. And after that, it's just been kind of like bumps throughout the road. So anyways, I hope that answered your question. And if anyone has any questions, shoot them. So Isaac, did I answer you? Are you good? Any questions I can help with you?
You know, so here's another question for you, and this might be helpful for somebody else. So let's say we have an unfinished basement on this property,
Mm-hmm.
What if we want to finish that basement? Does anything happen to, this side of the loan? Is there anything that benefits us, or would it be us kind of throwing that money away if we didn't stay in the property, or how could that work if we were doing things to improve the property under this contract, or would you say, hey, don't touch the house, leave it how it is, or what do you think?
Well, now it comes to terms. Like if you plan on finishing the basement out and okay, the basement is going to add this kind of value, so now it's terms. Okay, then I'll be like, all right, cool. I think you're going to make $100,000 if we sell this in 2 years versus $50,000. So I want my 50, and maybe now I want 70, and then give you 30, right? Maybe I'm going to reimburse you for the amount you put in. Again, now it's a negotiation. And you would do this before you signed anything. You said, hey, Jen, I'm going to put this money into this house, and I just want to see my money back, because it should increase the value. It's hard when you do work to property because everyone thinks, because I renovate all my properties, you always think you're going to make so much more money than you do. So you have to really, again, work with each other and say, okay, well, yeah, if you put $50,000 into it, you might net 75. You have to see in the area that you're doing this, your neighborhood, do other houses have finished basements? What is the value of them? How many of them have them? And really, is the amount of money you're going to put in your house, will you actually get that back in 2 years? This is another thing. You're on a tight timeline too. Like if we have 5 years in appreciation, maybe, but we would really talk about it. So yes, I love it. And this again would be a conversation. Hey Jen, I want to stay in the property. We still want to improve it. Okay, cool. I want you to gain as much as I gain. I would love the property to be worth more than 700 because really have closing costs and all these things to do with it too. So yeah, let's make that written into our contract. So now that becomes part of our terms. The note stays the way it is. Our deed of trust will now spell it out. Within 2 years, we're going to do it at this value. We're going to put the current seller is going to put in the X amount of value. They will recoup a total of this amount of value if the house sells for this. It's usually X plus X equals Y. That's just what we'll do, right?
Okay, cool. And then another quick question for you.
Yeah.
About how long does it take to do this type of process? Is there more? Obviously, you have to do more due diligence and stuff, but curious of from you saying, okay, we're good to go, how long until funds hit bank account, all that good stuff?
So we have to drop contract, and then I have to open a title company. We have to pull all your due. We got to get a payoff. We got to get everything from your company. So I'd say, generally it takes about 21 days. I treat it like a normal mortgage. We open it. It's just a lot of due diligence, making sure that everything's proper. Money can move fast, like that. It can. Yeah. It costs a lot to move fast. Let me just tell you that. People that come to me like, oh, I need this done in 5 days. I'm like, this is going to cost you a ton of money. You sure you want to do this? Because yeah, I have the money, but now I'm cramming all of my research into these many days, and I'm in a rush. Nothing good happens when you rush. Can I do it? Yeah. Will I do it? I've done it before. But in terms like this, you just write terms, get the terms, draw the terms, you sign everything, we do our due diligence, and then we open escrow. Sometimes they do close in 10 days. I think the one that was super smooth, I think it was 11 days. I think Kayla at LTC helped me do it in 11 days because it was just so clean. It was easy. But so I would think everyone, if I don't have a relationship already, we didn't have all these conversations, 30 days at the most. They shouldn't take very long, you guys. You really shouldn't. You should have your terms. You should know the agreement. Everyone should agree on the agreement. And the only thing you should be waiting for, because I don't do inspections, unless it's a property. Like, even most cases, this is the thing. I've been renovating properties for 15 years. There's nothing I can't fix. I really don't give a shit. One of my uncles has a pool and he didn't permit it. And he's like, oh, what do we do? I'm like, nothing. If the seller wants it, if someone wants to buy your property, it doesn't matter. Like, that's just BS. Like, if I look at your property and it looks like it's sinking and I will be able to sell, then I should get a test. One of the houses that I subject to somebody else, it has a pool and they ended up going and getting an engineer because they thought something's wrong with the foundation. And the engineer's like, nope, it's settling. That happens in this area. And so, you just never know. But I have a relationship with this person that I subtoed my house to, and they called me. We went through it. How cool was that? And I was like, whatever. Shit, if the house is sinking, we have insurance. Like, it's not like I sink it. Not like I want it to sink. Nobody wants their asset to sink. But sometimes stuff happens. And instead of him buying my house and him being, oh my gosh, I got stuck, he can call me. And we were like, well, let's figure this out together. I don't know. Like, I love the house. I bought it. I renovated it. So, anyways, that's another thing with that. You can do whatever you want with it, as long as it's in the terms of agreement. Some people won't allow you to, so that becomes the terms. I love it. Do all kinds of stuff to that thing. Okay, so I just want to share my. I can't share my screen because I've got 3 different lives. I was gonna share my screen and go through a deal, but is there any other questions? So let's see, Sean. What's up, Sean? Oh, look at Scott Miller's on here. Sherry's on here. So can you do RV storage deals? Yes. I buy businesses, you guys. I love trades. I love buying RV storage deals. That's bread and butter to me. I'm really good at it. And, well, there's always room for improvement, but yes, I can do them. That's just like I do with my regular houses, you guys. I have to be close enough I can go see it, touch it, and feel it, because I want to make sure that this is the key ingredient, you guys. I think people love to know this. I only joined Subto and Pace a little over a year ago. And how I even came across Pace was Cody Sanchez. I was buying businesses. Like, that's just what I was doing. And I had been in mortgage. I was burnt out because I couldn't help anybody in mortgage anymore. The rates were horrible. I felt like people were getting horrible. Everyone wanted something for free. Realtors were horrible. I mean, realtors in general are horrible people. They're just not nice, especially as a lender. They don't realize, oh my gosh, I'm a lender. I get paid least out of everybody. I have to do all the work. And then when anything goes wrong, the lender is like me, the most horrible person. I'm like, the dude bought a boat and it's my fault you're not closing? Like, it just got so ruthless that I'm like, literally, I walk from business, I'm like, peace, I'm out. I gave it to my team. You guys run it. I'm having a mental breakdown. I'm going to go buy businesses. And I did. And so I was buying businesses and I loved it because I was helping sellers. And sellers there were good with subject to and seller financing and terms. Like, when you presented terms, they're like, yeah, okay. And then I got into trades where that's my passion. My husband's an electrician. All my family is in drywall. My dad grew up with me he did dirt work. So I started reaching out to trades and they had nothing. Like, they've been in business 30 years. They didn't own a building. They had old used vehicles. And on paper, they said they made 0. So now I've got a 60-year-old that would like to retire and would like $100,000. That's it. $100,000 for your business. Guess what I could just say? You don't get $100,000 because it's not worth it. How crappy is that? So instead, I said, yes, let's keep you on for 12 months. Let's implement operations. Let's put paper to work. Make sure you can make money. You continue to make money. And I'll give you profit sharing for 12 to 24 months. We'll build your business up where you know it can be. You can actually retire with more than $100,000 and have, if you want to stay on with me, have perpetual money coming. And that's really what I was doing. And I loved it, and I still to this day. So that's, Sherry, to answer your question, I still do that. That is my passion. And we do that very, very well. And that's just to help people. And so you can incorporate it anywhere. RV storage, self-storage. I purchased gyms. And so, I purchased a local gym. They'd put all this money. I purchased it for $20,000. And they had the facility. It was all built out, whatever. They said they were going to stay. They didn't. They took all the clients with them. It was a debacle. But instead, I'm like, no problem. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to sell the space. And so because it had an asset, it had a built out space. So it had almost $200,000 worth of flooring and mirrors and equipment, all this stuff that I got for $20,000. So what did I turn around and do? I renegotiated, I pivot, and I sold that to somebody else. And I didn't make a huge profit on it. I think we sold it for 40 or 50, but I made money. I made like $20,000 on it, and they got the space, and now they're happy, right? So that's what makes me good at businesses, because I know how to pivot. I've been in a situation that didn't work out well. So I love it. I love helping businesses run efficiently, because all it is operations. You have to have operations, and you have to have an asset. If your business doesn't have an asset, you're never going to sell it. I'm sorry, it's the truth of the matter. Like, it is what it is. The private equity groups, they're the ones that buy the businesses the most money you make there. You have to be big and you have to be profitable. So if you're not big and profitable, what else can give you to have someone buy you? Assets in real estate. If your company has assets in a real estate, somehow, some way, someone will buy it, like me. I'll come and buy it. So keep that in mind if you're as a business owner. I see a lot of people that have businesses, they have a storefront, and yes, it's rent, and yes, it sucks, but then they take it and like specifically like, oh, I'm gonna go build a $300,000 big huge shop in the back of my house, and now my business runs there for free. It's so great. Guess what you just did? Now your business runs out of your house. I'm not gonna buy your business now. I might have bought it with a storefront with 50 employees and your numbers are right. I might have, but now it's in the back of your house. I can't do anything with that asset. And then plus now your residents, you can't support that. Like you will never sell your house for an extra $300,000 for that shop that you put in the back. Like this is where a lot of people go with their mind is they're like, I'm just going to do this. But your business should be a retirement. You don't want to work forever. You want to sell your business. Why are you working so hard today if you're not going to have anything tomorrow, right? So, gosh, that's a long-winded answer. What time is it? Oh my gosh, we're almost there. So we'll wrap up. Anyone have any more questions? Let's go through here. Good to see you. What do we got? Yes, this question is, so what's up, Dame? So subject to, do self-employed borrowers buy subject to? Yes, they're my homestead buyers. I would love that. If you're looking for a house and you've been told no, reach out to me. I'm building a portfolio. Do you want to buy a house? I've got Utah. I've got Idaho. I've got California. I've got Nevada. I've got California. Dare to say that. I've got Hawaii. We're buying properties here for you and you and you. Like, this is what I want. If you have been told no, or even I've had to tell people no, like, there's nothing you do. You make great money, but you don't have any money in your bank account. Or you don't show anything on your taxes. This is when you come to me. Do you have a down payment? You should need 10% down. That should be your goal. If you can have 10% down, yes, you can buy a property. You can get a low interest rate. Could you imagine 4.5 today? And FYI on mortgage, you guys, rates are not going down. They're just not. Get over it. I've been telling people that for 3 years. Everyone else has been like, date the rate, buy the house, date the rate's going to change. They're all full of crap. You just want to make money. Let's be real. It's another reason I got out of mortgage. It's a money maker. Like, talk to 90% of loan officers. They finally bought a house. They don't have lots of houses. And they spent all their money. It's just a money-making machine. But you want to be with somebody that really, really buys it, really knows it. Because I told everybody, I'm like, nope. You guys, if you've got your rate, stay in your house. You're stuck. Like, just stay there. You might die there. Don't move. Because you'll never see that rate again. Or be like me and don't care. I don't care. I sold my house. My house had a 2.375 on a $1.2 million property. That's what I had. You know what I thought? Don't care. Buying it. Went to a next one. Got a 4.5. Moved. I literally don't care. You know why? Sold that one. Made a few $100,000. I think it was $600,000 made on that one. Bought 5 more properties. Don't care. Rates mean zero to me. They mean nothing. If you have a need, fulfill that need. Period. Most people, like I have a friend of mine that's selling her house. $700,000. She's going from $700,000 down to a $330,000 manufactured home. And she's so happy because she's paying off debt. And she's like, I couldn't be happier. Because my house did its job. It made me money. I'm now in debt. I can pay my debt off and be happy. That's what your house is for. So keep that in mind. Rates are not going anywhere. If someone keeps telling you they're going to, they're full of crap. If they do go down, take advantage. Sweet. It was totally wrong. But until then, don't let it stop you making investments in your life and building your business and building your real estate portfolio. You guys, this is why I'm buying 150 Subto houses this year, 2025 alone. I want to have 150 new relationships. I want to help 150 new people move on or do whatever they want to do. And then in 3 years, or starting next year in 2026, I'll liquidate those. I'll be selling those Subtos. And those Subtos will be to the homestead buyers. You come and buy and lease option one of my houses, I'm going to sell it to you. And you know how much I want 50 grand. That's it. Who does that for anyone else? Me. I do that because I truly want to help people. So I'm excited to help you. Scott needs you to call him D. Okay, I will call him D. Okay. Those are my friends, and we've been trying to invest. And anyways, long story short, this is another thing, you guys, if you don't know, I help people with investing. So a lot of rules and regulations have changed with TSPs and retirements. So I'm just going to touch on this, but we have 5 minutes left. Isaac, you're on here. Do you have retirement? No 401k, no IRA, nothing, right? Okay, I liquidated mine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. For all of you people that have them out there and you're stuck, like I work with a ton in Southern Arizona, and we have a lot of border control government workers. They have what's called a TSP. It's a savings plan. Well, these are built to where you can't touch them. You have to be 59 and a half to even touch that money. Even the money you put in, they're now not letting you take out, period. It's the biggest waste of money. So this is my take on you guys. Take out what you can to invest, and then stop contributing so much to it. I think you should contribute to something if you have it, but stop. Pull that money over here, start investing it. You can invest in some of my deals. Our returns are 10 times higher. And then what you have is an ability to buy houses. Like a subject to house, you could put a down payment of 5% or less. There's some houses I've got for 0. I mean, start investing in real estate today. Stop worrying about your money you have over here. Let it sit. And I'm just picking on Scott and Dee right now because they have a lot of money and I think it might be tied up, but we're just going to figure out a way to pull it out. And again, how do I know this? I liquidated my money. I went and one of mine I wasn't allowed to touch, so I just liquidated it. The second one, I'd already left the company, so we had almost $300,000. We were able to move to a trust. My IRA goes in the trust. I buy stuff with that money completely with my trust and the IRA. No taxes. We gain money on that and we put it right back in our IRA. And then I take it back out. And then I put it back in. And then I take it back. It's amazing. So then it's still making money. And yet I can buy more properties with it and then put it back. So there's so many ways, you guys, to do it. If you have questions on that, how you can make your money work for you, reach out to me and I'd love to help you. So I think I answered all the questions. I will make sure I can actually share my screen. We'll get everybody over to YouTube so I can screen, or Instagram or Facebook. I don't know, I have all 3 right now, but I'm so excited that you came and that I was able to answer your questions. And hopefully we'll get that letter of intent over to you, not tomorrow, but, and then on Monday I'll be in Arizona with Pace. We're going to do business buying. And Abraham, Gray, I'm so excited to be in this room, but we'll get that over to you probably Tuesday or Wednesday. And then any more questions? So I got UD. What else we got here? Reply. Oh, Kathy, I love you. You're the best too. Kathy Craig is amazing. She is, my gosh, nonprofit extraordinary. John Pickle. East Coast, bro. You're up late. Okay, any questions? Anything else I can do for you? Are you good?
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Thank you for coming. Let's see, we're here. Peter, should I stop with my TSP? I think yes. I think you should put minimal in there. I think that your TSP has this goal, but if you can't touch your money, take out what you can now for a TSP, your savings plan. They'll let you do a hardship withdrawal, any kind of withdrawal. Take your money out now. All right? Take what you can, invest it now. Right? And then just stop contributing so much to it, because if you can't make your money make money by the time you're 59 and a half, I mean, I can only imagine you should be younger than that. I'm 44. I could not imagine not touching my money for 20 years. You know how much more money I'm going to make off of $5,000? My 9-year-old has $900 and he's already made this year alone, I think $2,000 off his $900 with me. He's invested with me. His money makes money, you guys. In that TSP, I don't think it's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's the only thing. And I think it's ridiculous that you contributed 11, 12, 50, 100, 150,000 and someone's telling you can't touch it. You know what that is, you guys. Keep this in mind. That company is using your money to make more money. They're like, ha, I got your money. They're trading. They're using your money because it's here. And if you were to ask, if everyone went and said, hey, I want my money now, they wouldn't have it. You know why? They're using it to make money. Banks do this. All your 401k, all your investors. And again, that's not a bad thing, but that's reality, you guys. Get used to it. They're using your money to make money while you're sitting over here waiting, and that your money is going to gradually go up a little bit, 6% every year. Come on, guys. We can make so much more money together doing other things. So, again, my opinion. And so let's get in a call. Yeah, Meg Pride. Call me, you guys. You can search me. I really try to be easy. I love saying that as a white girl. I'm easy to get a hold of. It's badassbossjen.com. You can reach me at jen@badassbossjen or badassbossjen@gmail. You guys, anywhere you go, please find me. I'm here to help you. I am so grateful to have the opportunity to be a complete nerd and to share my experience with Subject 2 with everyone and let everyone know, yes, you can do it. Yes, it's legal. Yes, there's proper documentation. And here is the biggest reason I do it. We can now help each other. We can start talking to each other. We can start doing deals together. So it is 5:59. Again, Badass Boss Jen here. Please let me help you expand your portfolio, grow your business, and coach you on Subto, because this is what I do. I will be here again on the 15th next month at 5 p.m. So catch me and let me see how I can help you. You're a rock star, Isaac. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to do business with you. All right?
Thanks.
Peace. Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Bye. All right. and into my Facebook world. I love you guys. If you need anything, please, please, please reach out and I will get on the phone. Let's see, snow, ice down northeast, enjoy the warm Arizona, I will. Grand Canyon, last got every dollar in the bank. Exactly, they do. I mean, Sherry, this is the truth. I have someone reach out with 100K invest. I'm going to DM you. I'm perfect. Yes, let's help them make money. This is what we do, you guys, and they know, like, and trust you. So let's help them make money. I'm so excited to be here for everyone. I adore everybody, and again, just here to help anyone, everyone with all my nerdness. And let's make money together. Let's partner, and let's absolutely be badass together. All right, guys. Until next time, I am signing off, and go make your day badass, your evening, wherever you're at, and tell someone else how awesome they are. Give some love. It's the love month. All right. Bye. See you.